From Nutrien Ag Solutions, this is Senior Meteorologist Andrew Pritchard with your Canadian Prairie weather story for Monday, August 30th, 2021. We are advisory free across the Prairie provinces. We've got an area of low pressure, a very big upper level low that's going to be spending the next 3 to 4 days with us here across Western Canada. You can see the flow there, the cyclonic flow around that area of low pressure, another well-defined upper level low here over the Hudson Bay, and then you got another well-defined swirl down here. This is the remnants of Ida. Powerful Hurricane Ida that made landfall across coastal Louisiana, New Orleans yesterday afternoon and into the overnight, and that's going to continue to lift off to the north and to the east as we head through the next 24 to 36 hours. But refocusing on the Canadian Prairie, it's going to be this storm system here that's going to keep rain in the forecast and then keep temperatures on the cooler side, cooler air coming in with this storm system over the next 3 to 5 days before we trend a little drier and a little warmer as we head into the weekend. We'll look at the radar picture here. Not much being picked up at this point. Some light showers here showing up maybe north of the Peace River area, moving up toward Grand Prairie. Some very light showers, but we'll see the precipitation increase as we head through the next 24 to 48 hours. We can see that here with the NAM model. This will take us through Thursday afternoon. We'll bring it back here to our Monday. Again, generally quiet. We'll see those showers increase in coverage across Grand Prairie, Peace River, eventually over toward Edmonton and Calgary as we get toward the late part of the day into the overnight. But this is sunset on Monday at this point. We're looking at a clear, dry day across Saskatchewan, much of southern Alberta, all the way into Manitoba as well. So stepping through the overnight and then into Tuesday morning. This is sunrise on Tuesday morning. Start to see those showers, maybe a few storms expanding into portions of Saskatchewan, still very isolated, hit and miss in nature. This is now Tuesday evening. We'll see some of the more widespread rain and storm activity pushing into portions of western and central Saskatchewan by Tuesday evening. Still dry in Manitoba through Tuesday. We'll see those showers and storms start to move in, though, across Manitoba as we head through the day on Wednesday. And this is when the dry slot on this storm system, you see kind of the void there in the cloud cover and the precipitation starts to wrap in. So portions of southern Alberta, southwestern Saskatchewan, you're going to end up on the lighter side here. I think there will be a chance for some isolated to scattered showers and storms in there, but we get the dry slot wrapping around the backside of the storm system here, bringing things to a close. So mid-afternoon on Wednesday, at least as it stands now, we've still got rain ongoing across Peace River, Grand Prairie, Edmonton, down to Calgary. We've got those showers and storms pushing their way into portions of into portions of Manitoba as we get into the last part of the day, but a drier trend as we get into southern Alberta and then into southwestern portions of Saskatchewan. Now we have a little bit further to go with this forecast. We can take it all the way out to, this is Wednesday night now, and then we'll get into early morning Thursday, midday Thursday. This upper level low is still with us. So we're still talking about cooler temperatures. We're still talking about a lot in the way of cloud cover. And then potentially talking about very light precipitation kind of lingering on the backside here. So even as we get into Thursday, maybe talking about some light showers here across portions of Alberta, portions of Saskatchewan, and then the heavier rain and thunderstorm activity just exiting Manitoba as we get into midday Thursday. So again, a big upper level low. This is going to be spending the next 3 to 4 days with us, and we do see some corridors of heavier precipitation. Again, Peace River down to Calgary, Edmonton, that's where we're talking about maybe 1 to 2 inches of precipitation. And then as you work your way across central Saskatchewan into southern Manitoba, we'll kind of give it this corridor here. We're talking about, narrow corridors of soaking rains here on that 1 to 2 inch, 1 to 2 inch range. And then in between that, there's going to be a lot of mists, a lot of lighter totals with some, lighter showers, maybe catching the periphery of one of these thunderstorm clusters. So the heavier corridors of the 1 to 2 inch type precipitation is going to be fewer than, the drier corridors as you make your way across Saskatchewan into Manitoba. But as you look at the Calgary to Peace River, Edmonton, Grand Prairie area, we're talking about the potential for a long duration kind of soaking rain event here that could last into the Wednesday and Thursday time frame. So we'll look at the NAM on the left, the European on the right, both of these taking it through Thursday. So Monday through Thursday, similar look. We get that heavy corridor of precipitation here across western and northern Alberta. And then as you make your way into Saskatchewan and Manitoba, we're talking about those narrow corridors of heavier rain with some of the thunderstorm clusters that we get. and then both agreeing here on the drier spot being the southern border of Alberta and Saskatchewan here, where the showers and storms are more miss than they are hit over the next 4 to 5 days. Now, as we take this through the next 10 days, this is the European model. Not a big change because this upper level low spends a lot of time with us the next 3, 4, maybe 5 days in some places, but then we do trend quieter over the weekend into early next week. Now, I don't think that the progressive pattern suddenly gets stuck. That's not what I'm seeing yet. But it does look like maybe, on the heels of this 3 to 5 day cooler, wetter pattern, maybe we get 3 to 5 days of warmer, drier weather on the back side of this. And we can see that here we'll break the precipitation anomaly forecast over the next 10 days in half. Here's days 0 to 5 on top, days 5 to 10 down here on the bottom. This is the impact of the storm system that sits overhead here for the next 3 to 5 days, all the way through Thursday and Friday. You see the drier window here on the southern border of Alberta and Saskatchewan. There will be isolated showers and storms within there. It's not going to be completely dry, but not getting the soaking rains that, Calgary, up to Peace River, Edmonton, and then you hook on over into portions of southeastern Saskatchewan and southern Manitoba. That's where we're talking about the heavier corridors of thunderstorm activity. On the backside, as we head through the weekend into early next week, that would be days 5 to 10, definitely trending drier, but you see all of the moisture off to the west. This is another upper level low that we'll take a look at here on this next animation, our 500 millibar height anomalies, and this is why I think that we don't just, completely shut things down as we head into next week. Now, as we get things going early this week, here's the upper level low that we're dealing with right now. Starting to make its way in here on Monday. Will slowly work its way through the area. This is Tuesday night, getting into Wednesday. And now we're into Thursday and Friday, all the way into Saturday and now Sunday. So you see the slow movement there and how it kind of just takes its time moving through the region, giving us that cooler, wetter week. On the backside, though, ridging. You start to see the upper level ridge here start to nose into the region as we get into the back half of the weekend. But here's the next disturbance, situated off the Aleutian Islands, the Gulf of Alaska, as we get into the back half of the weekend. Early next week, this is Tuesday. Now we're getting into Wednesday. This is still that quiet period. We'll have to watch this wave. How long does it take before it makes its way in? Does it fully push in there? Right now we have good agreement within the guidance, our longer range guidance, that we do see this next trough make its way in. But we're talking about beyond Wednesday, Thursday, September 8th and 9th at this point. So that's where that drier lull comes in. Not necessarily shutting it completely down, but a good opportunity to let things dry out, maybe get some activity done in the fields where we need to be doing that, again, over the weekend into early next week. Looking at kind of the same thing, we're looking at jet stream winds, though. Here's that system right now making its way through. You see the corridor of stronger jet stream winds. We, of course, on the leading edge of that, that's where we get all of the upward vertical motion there, the upper level divergence. It leads to the widespread rain and thunderstorm activity. Now we can animate this. We'll take it through the next 3 to 5 days pretty quickly because we've covered what happens here fairly well, in depth. Now, as you look at this trough, you see the bigger trough overall. Look at the little individual circulations you see in here. Now, each one of these are what we call short waves embedded within the long wave trough, and each one of those little short waves will bring localized enhanced upward vertical motion to kick off those clusters of showers and thunderstorms that will deliver the heavier swaths of precipitation. So again, the upper level low takes its time. We get little waves. This is really cool. Here's this wave, here's another one. We put this into motion. You see another one coming around the backside here. Another little trough right there. So a little short wave. It's really a kind of a fascinating, complex little pattern that's going to lead to, again, cooler temperatures, active pattern with scattered showers and storms and kind of daily clusters of storms that we'll have to address Monday through Friday in the morning daily weather intelligence report that you can get delivered right to your email. On the backside, we get a bit of a mess here. You can see a ridge there. You got a little trough coming in across California. All of this leads to a quieter pattern, unfocused, not talking about much in the way of organized precipitation as long as you've got a pattern like that. And if we do certainly build the ridge in early next week, we can see temperatures swing back in the warm direction as we head through the second week of September as well. And then here comes the next system. We start to see those strong jet stream winds extending all the way back across the Pacific. So we get this lead wave trying to come in around September 8th. But we've still got the strong jet stream winds, kind of another parade of systems ready to come in behind it. So we'll watch this closely. This could be our next turn toward an active pattern as we get around September 8th, 9th, and 10th. Quickly, we'll look at the precipitation forecast, tying all of this together. We'll, again, rather quickly, since we've covered the next 5 days, we start to see that rain and thunderstorm activity increase in coverage first across Peace River, Grand Prairie, Edmonton, Calgary, as we head through Monday and Tuesday. Late in the day Tuesday, that shower and storm activity begins to expand into central and southern Saskatchewan. And then as we talk about Manitoba, so when we start to see that move in here as we get into Wednesday night and Thursday. The system parks itself overhead here as we head through the end of the week, keeping temperatures cooler, keeping isolated showers in the forecast, potentially all the way into the end of the week here, Friday and Saturday. Look at this. This is Saturday afternoon. We're still talking about some remnant showers across Manitoba as we get into September 4th and 5th. Drier on the backside, ridging in the upper levels. It's going to lead to maybe a trend back toward warmer conditions, drier conditions, and then we'll have to watch that potential storm system coming in mid next week around September 8th and 9th for the potential trend back toward an active regime. Side by side, European, GFS, good agreement here on the corridors of precipitation. Again, neither one going to get it exactly right, but we see the pattern being driven home by both of these models. And then as we talk about the probability of picking up 1 inch or more of total precipitation over the next week, again, there's going to be corridors of that heavy rain, but where is it most likely? Well, we've talked about Calgary to Grand Prairie, Edmonton. That region, Peace River, certainly looks likely to pick up more of a widespread soaking, long-duration rainfall. And then as we head off to the south and to the east, we're talking about lower but non-zero probabilities because we will get these corridors of heavier soaking rains, 1 to 2 inches of rain with some of these heavier clusters of thunderstorms that will be isolated to scattered in nature. Temperatures, we'll finish with those, again, on the warm side to get the week started, but as this upper-level trough begins to work over the region, we will see cooler temperatures on the backside, in addition to a lot of cloud cover and precipitation across the region. So a cooler finish to the week, and then as that trough works its way out over the back half of the weekend into early next week, potentially trending back toward warmer conditions here, but again, low agreement in that because we've got a fairly messy picture as we get out into days 7 through 10. So your 10-day high and low temperature forecast, just to wrap things up here in Calgary, we're talking about highs right around 15 degrees as we get through the mid and late part of the week, warming up as we get into the weekend. You're going to see a similar picture here in Edmonton. Saskatoon keeping it pretty steady in the upper teens as we head through much of the week. Again, coming down from a warmer mid-20s here Monday and Tuesday. Winnipeg, again, that cool down a little delayed. The trough at the upper level low. The rain and thunderstorm activity making its way in Wednesday into Thursday, and that's when we will see the cool down in these regions.